I threw out my Spanish notebook and my Spanish actually got better. That sounds completely backwards, but it's actually true. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why notebooks are slowing you down and what to do instead.
Podré para mejorar mi español cuando no tengo mucho tiempo libre para estudiar español.
That after video you just saw took 120 hours of studying, which saved me hundreds of hours of time spent studying compared to the average learner. If you don't know me, my name is Hamid, I'm 16 and fluent in 4 languages, and I help people get fluent in Spanish fast. So the classic way of learning Spanish from a lot of us was high school Spanish class, where you get vocab lists, you get conjugation tables, and you get flashcards that you just study. And this is what I did for the first year of learning Spanish. What happens is, and what I did was, the teacher would, explain something on the whiteboard, I'd write it down in my notebook, and then I'd close the notebook and forget it. But something very interesting happened once I actually started learning Spanish in my own time, which was that I stopped opening my Spanish notebook and actually just eventually threw it out. And here's the crazy thing. My Spanish actually got better. And it's because writing things down doesn't stick. We all know that when the Spanish teacher writes that massive table on the whiteboard and then you write it in your notebook, and then we all know that when you close that notebook, it escapes your mind with it. You don't remember it. So why doesn't writing down stick? Like, why doesn't taking notes actually help you remember? It's because of something called the cone of learning, okay? Looks like a crazy concept. Whenever you're reading and writing things down, you're retaining the least amount of it. It's simply because less effort is getting put into it. And the more attention, the more effort, the more engagement, the more you remember. And that's why with, for example, Spanish learning, right? If you are just reading and writing, and you can probably rate this, you are probably remembering nothing, okay? And, that's probably why you don't remember much from your Spanish classes. Listening and seeing, meaning just observing, right? If you were to observe a conversation, you might remember a little more, right? That's why maybe listening to Spanish music or watching shows without understanding it might help more. What actually helps you remember is actually doing it yourself. It is engaging. And if you've ever explained something to someone and taught something to someone, you might have realized that you actually yourself understood that topic better once you explained it to someone else. And that's simply because it required more effort from you to explain that thing. You basically told your brain, this concept is important. We need to allocate a lot of effort, a lot of brain power into this thing. And so therefore your brain stores it, right? You put more effort into it, you remember it better. And reading or writing is less effort than doing. And by the way, if you're just getting started, I highly recommend joining the Speedy Spanish Hub. It's a free community I created with a bunch of free resources and guides to help you start learning Spanish with these methods. And it'll be the first link in the description. When you write down something, your brain offloads it. When you close that notebook and put it to the side, you're telling yourself, hey, I don't need to store this information in my head. I'm actually just going to store it elsewhere, right? The memory card, instead of putting the memory card in your brain, you're putting the memory card on a piece of paper and putting the paper away. But the action of trying to remember, the retrieval pathway, is the whole point. The whole point is to put effort into remembering it so that you can remember it, not writing it down and forgetting about it. And the fallacy is that the amount of pages that you have, the amount of notes that you have correlates to how much progress you've made. But I can tell you, I definitely have the least amount of notes taken in Spanish class. Y hablo español con fluidez. And this is what I heard a person in a course say when I was learning Spanish that really flipped this whole idea for me, which was that the language should be in your head, not your notebook. That's the point. The memory card, the information shouldn't be stored up in a page. It should be stored up in your head. And so it's shallow work dressed up as deep work. Whenever you take notes or you read or write, it feels like it's doing something. It feels like it's deep work. But as soon as you put the page aside, you're putting the information aside as well. So it's fundamentally easy, shallow work because it requires less effort, but it feels like it's deep work, which feels like it's productive. So it's elusive. It's misleading. So what should you do instead? What matters is that all of the thinking, all of the logic, all of the repetitions should be mental. They should be in your head. Okay. And so if you can't hold that conjugation table in your head, then you don't know it. You haven't learned it. Okay. The repetition, the way to learn that is simply forgetting it and then re-encountering it. It's as simple as that. The rep in the gym that you do for the brain, in this case, is forgetting the rule for adverbs and then re-encountering it and then using it. And the more times you use it, the harder it will be to lose it. For Spanish learning, it means listening to natives. Listen to native content, use subtitles to understand what they're actually saying. And then when you listen to the natives and you can't understand what they're saying, find out how to say that thing and then go back to listening to the content. Right? Don't write anything down in the middle of that step. That's what I did during the summer, okay? I didn't write anything down. I just made sure that every repetition was all mental. I would always refer back to the content, the actual listening, the actual audio, instead of referring back to any notes. This process of listening to the native and then understanding what the native said, okay? And the more times I just repeated that over and over and over again, what happened was that audio that stuck in my head. And so my brain stored that memory card in my head, not on a piece of paper. Even though writing on a piece of paper feels productive because it's like, oh, look at all these notes I have. Look at how much progress I've made, right? Fallacy. It's a big fallacy. Fallacy is a complicated word for logically flawed, meaning it doesn't make sense. So for this method, I only allowed myself to use DeepL, which is the translator, and then SpanishStick.com, which is a grammar website, where everything I would do, all the practice on this, I would do out loud or I would listen to. Obviously, some reading is inevitable, right? But what I didn't allow myself to do was writing anything down. No new words, no conjugation tables, nothing. I would just practice, I would just listen and speak and just try to use my mouth and my ears as much as possible, because my mouth and my ears are the body parts that are being used in a conversation, not my hands and my eyes, meaning writing things down and reading them. And so it's tools that explain Spanish to you in the moment rather than a notebook that stores them, because those tools can be referred to as you're speaking and listening to Spanish, but you're not storing them elsewhere. So you're not telling your brain, let's just store this information elsewhere. You're actually telling your brain, let's actually retain this information because we have to use it. And that's the difference. And so every encounter of a concept that you don't understand in Spanish, that you don't have in your notebooks, is a real retrieval rep, meaning it's a real rep of you actively trying to remember. And that's a good thing. It's good to forget and then try to remember again, because that's telling your brain that we need to remember this information. And so eventually it's going to remember it. And the advantage is you're practicing the skill of speaking and listening rather than a skill of writing, which is also something that you don't even want because we want to have conversations. But listening and understanding natives alone doesn't get you to fluency. And it's not what got me to fluency, because I also had to practice my speaking abilities, which again, I didn't use any notebooks for. And I use this exercise called narrate, tell, contemplate instead. So the way I would do it is I would just narrate something, and it could be a story, a report, or an opinion, something like that, right? Then I would elaborate on the narration, meaning give details. And then I would contemplate, meaning I would ask why, okay? But here's the key step. I would do this all out loud. Again, I didn't write any of this down on a notebook. I would actually use it. I would actually do it, right? I would actually speak Spanish because I want to get better at speaking Spanish. And so speaking is the skill that we want to get better at, not journaling, right? And so journaling is training the wrong muscle, right? Instead, we want to train the mouth, train speaking. And so deep work is full focused, real mental effort. Shallow work is busy work that feels productive, meaning it's not actually producing anything. It's not getting you any results, but it takes up a lot of your time. It makes you busy. That's what notebooks are. Notebooks are fundamentally filling up your time but not producing any results, but actually speaking and understanding and actually using Spanish with your brain as the memory card, not the notebooks, is the actual productive work. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's not entertaining, but learning Spanish, learning is education. Education and entertainment are polar opposites. If you're watching this video because you want to be entertained, I'm sorry. Just watch it on our channel. And so the TLDR of this video is you want the language in your head, not in your notes. And if you want to be conversationally fluent, then conversations are what you should be doing. It's as simple as that. I can go deep into why that is, but that's the conclusion. If you're serious about learning Spanish and you want to learn using these methods, then you can check the second link in the description to join my program. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed and stay humble.